Yo, what's going on? I am in the Dina today, Pasadena. Had a bit of a misfire. I was trying to do my first live stream out here, but you gotta request to be alive. YouTube has to let you live 24 hours notice, but in a bigger issue, you have to have 1,000 subs, and we're not there yet. So if you're watching this video, like, comment, subscribe, tell your watch buds, your watch bros, your watch sisters to subscribe, and then, you know, God willing, when we get to 1,000, be able to do a live stream. Got my coffee though, and I got a parking ticket outside my Airbnb because I was a bit of a dummy. I don't Airbnb a lot. I don't travel a lot, so I don't bother checking the parking rules on my Airbnb thing. It's not their fault, it's mine. But big old but want to talk about IWG for Dummies. In fact, that's gonna be the name of this video. IWJG International Watch Jewelry Guild trade show for dummies, or for beginners, noobs, because it was an interesting experience. I've known about that organization for a couple years now, and as an outsider, as a non-dealer, as someone who buys watches, and you know, I sell watches. I think flipper has become a bad term, and it I don't know anymore. It seems like it refers to people who have Rolex connections and who are buying Rolex new and then flipping them. I'm not a dealer though either. I haven't sold a watch in forever and a day. I haven't done many sales since the onset of the pandemic. This wasn't a thing. But I always wanted to go to one of those shows. But you can't go to one of the. You can't get in unless you are a company, effectively a dealer. But all you really need is a wholesale. No, not wholesale. You have to become a company and have a sales tax ID. And the staff was extremely accommodating, extremely helpful. I kind of pushed up my company launch for a hobby of ours in order to accommodate this, absent of a formal business plan, which I'm still working out what I want to do. I'm not planning on being a dealer or a semi-dealer. That's just not my jam. Right now I'm gonna get on the highway, heading over to Beverly Hills. Gonna see a friend. Gonna pick up a watch that I have in for repair out here. That's kind of cool. And do a little bit of watch shopping. There's a cool AD out here called Feldmars, and they've got a lot of neat brands in there. Bear with me. Room zoom zoom. I have to say, this Forward Edge Titanium has got some pretty decent get up and go. Really impressed with it. Although the keeps shutting the engine off whenever I'm at a stoplight, which that can't be good. And it's got like an iPad interface here. It also doesn't work. I worked for 10 minutes and then no longer. So IWJG for Dummies. It was a small show. There was maybe like 6 rows, 4 deep, and 4 sellers at each, not kiosk, but little roundabout. So maybe 80-ish there. No, it was all watches, a little bit of jewelry, and one diamond booth, but no supplies, no tools or anything. But some incredible watches were there. I got to chat with Bob Marin. Incredible guy, very knowledgeable. First learned about him on Roman's channel. Just an incredible collector, seller, and super cool guy. He chatted watches with me. I must have had a sign on me that did say newbie, because at one point, one of the sellers loop checked me, which I guess is a thing. I was looking at one of his watches, and I wasn't interested in it. I don't remember what it was. And he offered me, he's like, oh, look at it under a loop. I'm like, no, it's okay, I don't need a loop. And then he basically forced me to use the loop, and he wanted to loop check me. So thank you to Paul Thorpe for teaching me, you, everyone, how to use a loop properly. You put that loop up to your eyeball, up to your noggin, and then you move the watch in and out in order to adjust, focus. You don't move the loop itself, otherwise you look like a bumperhug. And I don't know. There was a lot of weight in the room. Heavy cats running in there. I recognized a couple. Frankly, anyone I recognized would have been from one of Roman's videos from the past. And it's like, dang, man, moving some serious weight. And they had everything under the sun there. To Roman's credit, I will give excellent credit there. Great setup, but great product. In terms of not just presentation, but the condition of the watches was excellent. There were watches in Ziploc bags on top of one another, just a bunch of watch heads. And there's some real chowdered pieces there too. At the other sellers. Roman's was fabulous. Bob's setup was fabulous. Had some of the coolest watches there. Got to hold that Blueberry GMT. Got to also check out that Tudor Monte Carlo. Great pieces. Prices were basically retail. And whenever I go up to a used watch dealer, whether it's in New York, LA, wherever, I ask them the price on a watch I know, on a watch I've been hunting, typically an Omega piece, Speedmaster reduced, because everyone is moving Speedmaster reduced these days, whether it's the Shumi Red or the regular, and I know what those should go for, because I track those pretty closely. One dude quoted me $2,200. I'm like, bro, I can get it on eBay right now for like $2,000, if not under, after some negotiating. And kind of the real, I was also looking at Rolex Explorers, the 39, and I had to get up to speed on the nuance of the Mark 1, Mark 2 pretty quickly, even though I did a video about it moons ago. But there are differences between the 39. It's the 214-720, Mark 1 or Mark 2. That's all the further distinction there is. There's changes in the dial with the lume, but the dead giveaway to tell one from the other is the handset. When they released the very first 39 millimeter, it was right after a 36 millimeter. They had a bunch of hands left over. So the Mark 1 dial has the handset from the 36, and it looks puny. It looks too small. And the minute hand only goes out to about halfway through the indice, whereas the Mark II, the minute hand goes all the way out to the end of the indice. So that's how you can tell at a quick glance which one you're looking at. And I didn't know that on day one. I was having trouble distinguishing one from the other on the sales floor. I didn't wear my glasses, I should have. And I didn't bring my loop on day one. But went home, did some research, figured that out, and then came back on day two, loaded for bear. And they wanted, best price in the room for a Mark 1 dial was $8,000, which is okay-ish. But the Mark IIs, 10.5 and up. No. They're on chrono for 8,800. Not happening. And I rolled up on one of the dealers. I'm like, hey, this is my first show. I guess I was expecting better prices relative to the open market on chrono. And he was kind of flim-flailing. He was saying that, you got to write the dealer, make sure they have the watch, because that's the thing where they'll list watches that they don't have on chrono, eBay, wherever, and then they'll try to source it, but still the price is the price. But it's a trade show, and I think the only people getting deals or making deals there are the dealers to dealers, where there's a trade of a watch and a little bit of cash one way or the other on it. because just out and out buying, unless you have a relationship with them, you're getting retail pricing. At least that's what I was getting. And I didn't buy anything. I was looking at a Tudor Submariner that I actually went to the bank that morning on day 2, got money out. I was going to pick it up. He wanted 32. I was gonna peel off 2,500 in Crispies, see if it worked, then flip it for 35. But I took my loop up in there, and the bezel, the loom pip, was so bad. You know how if you have a nail hole in your apartment wall and you're moving out and you gotta patch holes, how the thing is put some toothpaste in there? It looks like the loom pip fell out and someone put a bunch of toothpaste in there. And it's embarrassing because I should have seen it on day 1. And then this other guy had a watch I really wanted, an Omega Seamaster 60 vintage with the Bakelite bezel, which curiously enough, Christopher Ward's Aquitaine that just came out has that same look of that bezel, just a little bit Blanc Pawn like as well. And he wanted, I think he wanted 2,200 for that watch. It was just a watch head. It was one of the watch heads in a bag on day 2. So I'm looking at it, and I do the crown. The crown actuates well, but the hands aren't rotating when you try to set the time. I could have made an offer on it, but he wasn't too happy when I pointed out his watch was broken. It's like, dude, it's not my fault. I didn't break it. But I didn't want to make him angry. But I was going to offer him $600 and then send it off for service. But it's pretty old, and I don't know if it's easy to get that service. So I ended up doing nothing. He would probably slapped me if I'd said 600. What are you going to do? Overall, I guess it's like anything in life. There are good people and bad people wherever you go. There were some friendly dealers, and there were some not friendly dealers, like angry guys. And you spend all day looking at one watch case after the next, and you come back the next day, and I asked this one seller if the Explorer in his case was Mark 1. He goes, I don't know, I told you yesterday, you saw it yesterday. That dude was so angry, so angry. And it's like, bro, first of all, you just lost, well, I wasn't going to buy from him, but I will never buy from him now. I'm making a mental note. But he was rude to everybody, and there were a lot of rude people there too, I gotta say. Like, if you're looking at something, they'll just barge right in and knock you out the way. And I get it, if this is your job and you're trying to move weight, but I don't know what to make of it. It's like, manners, people, manners. But I'm really glad I went. I don't know that I'll need to go to another one based on what I saw, because I was talking to one dealer who said, yeah, a lot of the times I end up on Chrono 24 buying stuff. So, I didn't even check prices on anything other than the Explorer, because I'm not looking for a sub, I'm not looking for a GMT. There were plenty of them, plenty of Hulks, plenty of all that stuff. Daytonas were there. So there's no shortage of watches. It's just, how you access them and what price you're going to end up paying. Nothing new under the sun. The prices there were tough. They were not wholesale prices. They were retail prices. And I was really caught off guard by that. I was expecting, if an Explorer's going for 9 on Chrono, I was expecting 7,500. Nope. Well, maybe if I, was a real dealer and I'd had rapport and I was trading, because you have to make a trade there if you're going to get ahead. Basically, if you bought a watch for $1,000 and it shot up in value to $4,000 in the market, in the open market, retail, and then some other sellers got $2,000 into a watch, and it has also shot up to the same price, and you guys do a straight like-for-like trade, then you are technically ahead because you've got less cash into the piece, which is why you make your money when you buy the watch, not when you sell the watch. And that's about near as I can tell the best way to move ahead there. But like I said, I am looking to become a watch dealer, though I'll probably still buy and sell small quantities here and there. There you have it, IWJG for Dummies, LA edition. As much as I enjoy coming back out to my old haunts, it's like the world's worst time travel machine. You come back to places you used to know, and some of the things look the same, but everything else is different. It's crazy. Hope you enjoyed this little trip through this hobby of ours, and that this little, not tutorial, but little tour de force of IWJG was informative. All right, have a good one. Peace.